Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Loudermilk. I hope you can wait 5 minutes. Is that okay? Thank you. Dr. Smith, did you find any serious problems with the EPA's analysis of the Clean Power Plan?
I've found that they are not reporting the costs they actually estimated, pushing those costs off into years beyond the time period when they have to report cost estimates in their regulatory impact analysis. I also found just yesterday that in their analysis of the mass-based cap, they haven't actually analyzed the very rule that EPA itself has implemented or promulgated, which is that they are allowing leakage, and that causes their cost estimates to be understated.
Does that come across to you as a bit disingenuous?
I think that the reporting problems are a bit disingenuous. That has that appearance to me. The issue of the leakage, I'm not sure whether it's even been noted or that they're aware that they failed to do that.
Ms. Dykes, this is a yes or no question. In regard to Mr. Abraham's points about asthma and health benefits of the Clean Power Plan, is it your opinion, is it the EPA's opinion that it does reduce asthma rates and has a beneficial impact on health?
It is my opinion that yes, it does.
Thank you. That's interesting because Administrator Gina McCarthy testified before Congress that the Clean Power Plant, and I'm quoting, will not have any meaningful direct impact on respiratory health, atmospheric temperatures, or sea level rise, which begs the question, why is EPA selling out to impose this? And her response was something that actually you testified to a little while ago, that it will encourage other nations to comply. Mr. Knappenberger, you're a climate, your expertise is climate. Are you familiar with the research that's indicating that we're actually entering into a cooling period?
A little bit having to do with the solar variability and the decrease of that. That is ongoing research. I'm not sure what it will yield, but as I said, there are natural and there are human influences on the climate system, and the human influences add a pressure to warm, but it doesn't mean that it will warm, as other natural influences could offset some of that warming. So
your research is consistent with the natural variations. I think, in fact, one of the IPCC lead authors has reached that conclusion that any variations in the climate is the result of natural variations. I also want to address this issue of the cost, and it's interesting that we've had a couple of members testify about the benefits in their states, and I just would like to point out, Mr. Chairman, that for Connecticut, they have the highest household energy cost in the country. And in terms of the impact on low-income families, it might be interesting to look at the federal program, the Low-Income Household Energy Assistance Program. Connecticut's getting $72 million a year. That's what their appropriations would be for 2016, and Massachusetts $133 million. So it's obviously having an impact on low-income families. As a matter of fact, the National Black Chamber of Commerce indicated that if the Clean Power Plan, which they oppose, is implemented, it will cost African Americans 7 million jobs, will cost Hispanics 12 million jobs. It will lower their household income by $455 per year for African Americans, $515 for Hispanic families. They estimate that the African American poverty rate will go up 23%. The Hispanic poverty rate will go up 26%. Dr. Smith, is this in any way consistent with some of the things that you're finding?
In our analysis, we have the RGGI region meeting, in our base case meeting, it's RGGI caps, and the costs, basically those costs that you're describing are embedded in our base case, and they don't even get captured into our cost analysis because we take those as already incurred. But there's no reason to believe that those costs aren't happening. And I also want to point out that the analysis group study is only looking at the benefits within the states, but there are damages and costs of the RGGI program to providers of fuels that are outside of the state, and those aren't being accounted for in the analysis group report.
Mr. Chairman, in wrapping up my point here, you know, you have the administrator of the EPA admitting that it has little to no health benefit, little to no benefit in climate change. It seems like it's a massive public relations program, but really seems like it's a political program. I yield back.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Palmer.